there's been a few more bits of details released about Bryan Kohberger from a former school official. The thing is, what's interesting about this information is, if you've been watching my channel for a bit of time or you've caught one of my lives, this is something that I've spoken about for a long period of time. Now, people may not be aware, but obviously you don't exist for 28 years on a planet with no previous history. And one of the things that I tried to do when first assessing this case was dive into the background of who Bryan Kohberger is. And there was a bit of information or a rumour that was given to me early on that links into what's being said here. But this is about Bryan Kohberger's creepiness with women and how it dates back to high school. So some details about Bryan Kohberger's past have emerged from a former school official, claiming that the quadruple murder suspect was once kicked from a high school police program because of complaints from girl students. One of the interesting things about this rumour that I was told was that Bryan Kohberger was actually previously caught stalking a group of girls that led to him being removed from the program. And these claims to me were kind of amplified when they were shared on the Idaho Massacre podcast. And this comes from Tanya Carmela Beers, a former administrator at Bryan Kohberger's first high school in Pennsylvania. Now, Carmela didn't exactly divulge the exact information of what it was that led to Bryan Kohberger being removed from this program. Neither did she say exactly what it was he was accused of doing, but said that a group of girls had a pretty severe complaint about Bryan Kohberger that led to the removal of him from that program. And this was all the way back in his junior year. And she said what had him removed from the program, when I look back on it now, makes sense with what he's being accused of. And Kohberger moved schools in his senior year, and it's unknown as to why. But what's interesting about what I was told about Bryan Kohberger potentially stalking a group of students at this program is one of the reasons that led to his removal. It's interesting to tie in with what this former school official is saying. She didn't divulge into exactly what it was that Bryan Kohberger was removed from the program for, but she said that when she looks back on it, it now makes sense. And the thing is that Bryan Kohberger is accused of stalking. Bryan Kohberger is accused of stalking a group of individuals in Idaho, entering the home in the early hours of the morning and stabbing them to death. And we understand that the things that he'll be charged for are things like stalking as well as the murders of the four. And we know that Bryan Kohberger in his former school years wasn't at any point apprehended, neither was he removed from any program for murder. But one of the things that would make sense is that Bryan Kohberger was removed from the program for stalking a group of individuals. Now, we don't exactly know what the stalking could have led to, but an interesting thing that took my eyes when Bryan Kohberger was apprehended, one of the things that they took that a lot of people focused on was 4 IDs. The thing is that these IDs come from Pennsylvania, and it would be interesting to see if these 4 IDs that were taken when Bryan Kohberger was apprehended are the 4 IDs that could match the female students from the program that have accused him of stalking. This would also show a pattern in his behaviour, as what he's being accused of now, as it would only make sense if that what he's being accused of now, which is stalking and killing individuals, would make sense to that individual later on, because the accused killer was apprehended and then accused later on of something very similar. It'll be interesting to find out in the future if Bryan Kohberger was ever caught previously stalking individuals, and this would tie into the behaviour as well as the accusations that are being placed against him now. I don't always speak on rumour because I don't always like to throw things out there, but it's interesting to see with a former school official them actually speaking about something that may tie in later on. Anyway, I hope some of this helped, and if it did, then drop a follow, but if not, then have a nice day.